Okay, so we just took a look at how to do a 10 by 10 Picross puzzle. What we're going to do now, I'm going to turn it up a little bit so that we can see a lot of different strategies in one puzzle. I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to leave easy mode. I'm going to go to normal mode. The puzzle's going to be a little bit harder. Let's see. I'll do level 1. I like the fact that there's different levels because now that means we'll have a lot more puzzles to complete. We'll just do A. Very simple. No hints, no time. Don't worry about the time. Okay, so where to start? You probably always would start with your biggest number, which will be 7. Excuse me, a little bit tired. Okay, so you probably want to start with your 7s. Let's start with this 7 going across because it already has something. It always has information in it, so we can figure it out a little bit easier. Again, I'm going to do far left, far right. I'm going to do the extremes method where I look at the far left and the far right. So that would mean I count starting here, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Note that I didn't count the X. I already know that it can't be colored in, so I'm not going to count it. So this would be the 7 going across from the far left. And if I do it from the far right, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, there's an overlap there. So from this one, this square, counting from the far left, this was 7. And then counting from the far right, this square was 7. So basically what the extreme overlap method is saying is that no matter how we move the 7 that are consecutively colored in, these 5 will be colored in. So these or even these 2 can be colored in for that row. And now using that information, we could take it to the 7 that's going down from here. So let's see. This square has to be colored in. So let's do the far bottom. Let's count from the far bottom. So this would be 1, 2. This one's colored in. So everything after until I get to 7 needs to be colored in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So now let's count up from this square so we can find out which squares could possibly be colored in. We already said that this one could possibly. So let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This next square could possibly be colored in, but the 2 above it cannot, because that would mean that this consecutive chain of squares is too long. All right, makes it a little bit easier. Next, let's see, where can we go next? Next, we can use 1, 8. Remember, there's 2 numbers, so there has to be a gap of at least 1 square between the 2 that needs to be colored in. So let's see. We have 1, a gap of at least 1, and 8. Let's see. 1, a gap of at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So it doesn't fill it out like I thought it would. Did I count wrong? 1, a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I thought so. I counted wrong. I apologize. If we have 1, a gap of 1, and 8 squares after, that equals 10. 1 plus 1 plus 8 is 10. And there's a 10 by 10, so that's the only way that this square could be, this column can be colored in. We have 1 square here, a gap, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the only way it'll fit. Okay. Let's see, we use overlap, or the extreme overlap, for 7 going down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything here has to be colored in. Got it. Let's see. Can we use information that we know already to solve 4, 4? I believe so. Let's see. Remember, there has to be a gap between 1, 2, 3, 4. A gap of 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like that's the only way that can work. Oops, skip the square. Whoops, hit the wrong thing. When you're playing timed here on Picross DS or Picross DS and you make a mistake, it'll add 2 minutes to your time. So I accidentally clicked that. It's okay. Again, we're not playing for time. We're not setting world records. We're learning here. All right, so let's see. 1 and 7. 1, a gap of at least 1, and then 7 more. 1, a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, just like that fits. And I accidentally clicked. I make a lot of mistakes here. Okay, so we can do that very same thing for all of the rows that match 1, 7. Okay, now let's see. This row with, this column with 5 is calling me. It's saying, hey, you know more now than you did a few seconds ago. Okay, so we have 4 in a row that are colored in. And remember, it's 5, so it has to be the next one on either side. But it can't be any other square in that same column. Okay. What else do we know here? Okay, let's take a look at this column that has 5, 2. 5, a gap, and then 2. This square, can this square be colored in? This square cannot be colored in, because if it was, then that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 6 colored in. There's no 6 consecutively colored in this column. So we can put an X here. Now, if we put an X there, we also know that there has to be 5 in a row colored in, a gap, and then there has to be 2 in a row colored in. If this one's colored in, then there has to be at least one more behind it, which is a 2. And then if these 4 are colored in, there has to be one more before it, which is a 5. Perfect. We're learning. There's a lot of different strategies in this one puzzle. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to our 7 across. Let's see. How many squares do we have available? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares available. We have 7. So that means there should be one that's not colored in, that doesn't need to be colored in. Okay, so let's see. Overlap one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one definitely needs to be colored in. All right, we're making progress. You will be jumping around a lot when it comes to Picross. This puzzle is actually a pretty long one. Maybe it's me explaining it. Okay, let's go to the 2, 2. There's 2, a gap of at least 1, and then 2 more. Okay, so we have 2, or we have 1 here, and another that should be colored in. Can't be this one. We already said there isn't. It can't be that one. So let's color this one in. And then a gap. Here's our gap. And then 2. Could be either one. I don't want to color it in just yet. But we do know, going across here, that 2 is colored in right here. So it can't. This square can't be colored in, and this square can't be colored in. Now, using that information, we can find out that this square would be the 7th square in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you gotta use all your information. I think I can whip it back around to this 2, 2 column. Let's see. When we colored this one in, we found out that this row has 2, gap, 2. And this is 2 here. So guess what? We can go ahead and close those 2 off. And now that we found that out, we can come back here where it's 2, 2. And we see that this has 1 square. And the only available square here must be colored in. It brought it back around, just like that. Okay, so let's do a little bit of cleaning up. We'll close this off. I actually believe that's the only thing to clean up. Okay, so let's see. We have our 2, 6. This is our first one. There needs to be another for it. It needs to have a buddy. So we can go ahead and color this one in. There's a gap, and then there's 6 more colored in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there we go. 6 there. Let's see. What's our picture? Where's our picture going to be? Can't tell. Okay. Okay, where can we go next? Let's go to this column, the 2 and the 5 that's already colored in. Okay, so we have 3 squares there available, and in both scenarios, both extreme scenarios, we have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. In both scenarios, this one must be colored in. Now, using that information, we can find this 2 because this is the only place that 2 in a row can be colored in this row. All right, let's see. Let's do a little bit more cleanup. We need a little bit more cleanup on aisle 1A. Okay, now let's look at our column that says 2, 7. 2, 7. It has to be 2, a gap of at least 1, and then 7 more. How about we do this? If we color this one in, would that work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it wouldn't work. That can't work. So this one has to be closed off, which means that this column, this square, and this square will be colored in. All right, making headway. We can go ahead and X this one out and X this one out. Now that pretty much leaves. Oh, I'm sorry. We can close these out as well, and this one. Okay, so what does that leave for us? We have 2, 1, 2. This is 2. Would this be 1? This square can't be 1 because we still need 2 after it. So this square could be 1, and that checks out here with this square being 2. I'm sorry, this group being 2. And that would mean that this square is 2. We have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bam. Bam. We did it, guys. We did it. We did. I hope you guys have seen a few strategies that you can use when solving Picross. I love to play Picross on the channel. I just don't think it'd be entertaining to play because it's a very thinky puzzle. It's all about you thinking, not so much talking and being entertaining. But if the opportunity ever arises, trust me, I'll play some Picross on the channel. This has been a lovely experiment with doing tutorials on the channel. Now I want to do some more tutorials or how-tos for other games as well, other puzzles, things like that. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll check you guys later. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe so that you can see more as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching.